Hello, welcome back to my channel, guys. For those who are new, my name is Annette Blythen, and I am a mother of two young boys. One who is coming up to 4, his name is Malachi, and then Asha, who is coming up to 11 months, and he'll be soon a year in April. I had Malachi when I was 27 years old, I believe. I had him when I was 26. I can't even remember. Do you know what? Birth does something to your brain called forgetful, and that's what's happening to me. So anyway, I had Malachi when I was 26 years old, and then I've had Asha when I'm 29. So I'll be 30 soon this summer. Anyway, today I thought, why not talk about the progression of where we are, both me and Asha, how Asha is doing since birth and how I'm also doing since birth. It's interesting with the second child because I think you are more, in a way, stuck in the ways that you think it is going to be the same thing that has happened with your first child, but surprise, surprise, things are different, and some things are the same, don't get me wrong, but some things are different. Anyway, if you haven't already, it's going to be a little bit of a chit chat. Grab yourself a drink. I usually advise water, but hey, it's up to you. Coffee, some Baileys, some wine, whatever you fancy. I've got myself a glass of water here. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started and let's get into the video. So first and foremost, Asha, who is now coming up to 11 months this March, he is doing really, really well. Sorry, I'm just checking if he's awake on the monitor. He's still sleeping, so just ignore me when I'm glancing in and out of the video, just making sure that he's still asleep. Anyway, back to Asha, who is coming up to 11 months old this March. He has now got 4 teeth at the bottom. In total, he's got 6 teeth, but he's got 4 at the bottom and then 2 at the top. He eats really, really well. When it comes to milk, he has graduated from these to bottle. Absolutely ideal, and I didn't have to struggle with that. I think mothers who have breastfed before and then move the child to a bottle, that transition can be a mission. But I've been lucky enough with Asha. He's just literally taken to the bottle on his own without any fuss. If anything, oh, I can hear a child scream. That's not my child. I'm sure it's the neighbors or something. Anyway, compared to my first one, Malachi, there was a little bit of weaning from the boob to the bottle, which was a little bit of a struggle, especially when it comes to nighttime. But eventually he did transition without a problem to the bottle. But it can be fairly difficult. But with Asha, he's at that point where he doesn't want the boob anymore. If I give him the boob, I think last time I breastfed him was probably 5 days ago. He literally had the boob, bit me, and looked at me like, nah, I don't want that. So I was just like, do you know what? He has done his time of feeding from the boob, and we're now done. So I left him to it, and now he's fully on the bottle. Whew. Oh my, does the boy love the bottle. He's a milk boy. Milk boy? Is there such a thing? Milkman. I've got a milk boy. Anyway, yeah. Another thing he's doing is sleeping through the night. I think he's been doing this now for roughly about a month, which has been great. Obviously, I have got my sleep back. So going to bed, Asha is not really much of a fuss. As long as he's been fed well and has his night bath and his night feed, he's happy to go to bed. So on a good night, he goes to bed about 7:30 to 8 p.m. I know other people put their kids to bed quite earlier than that, but this is what works for my son. And I think with kids, babies especially, I believe, with my experience obviously of having the first one, it's best to stick to their routine. Like, they naturally just bring in their own routine. I'm not saying that you can't also enforce a routine. If natural routine for them is not working, then, you know, do that. I think it's also a personal thing, but for me, for my son, that's what works. He's put himself into this routine and I just follow it. So yeah, he goes to bed roughly, let's just say 7:30 to 8 p.m. and sleeps through the night. Obviously he'll have a full bottle just before bed. Usually he'll finish it. It's rarely that he'll leave a little bit, or he'll finish it and then need a little bit more. So yeah, a whole full bottle, the big one, he'll finish that, and then he'll sleep through until, usually on a normal day, until 6:30 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning. Then he's up, and then I'll give him another bottle. For me, that's just perfect because it allows me to have a good night's sleep now and not worry too much about waking up and everything. I've sort of ignored the monitor as well, because obviously I know, he's only next door. He moved out of our room when he was 6 months old. So to me, that's great. So he's next door with his brother. So that way, if he wakes up in the middle of the night, I can still hear him. But half of the time, I don't use the monitor anymore. So yeah, that's another thing. And then when it comes to verbal, he is doing a lot of talking. Of course, the usual baby talk with the da da da, ma ma ma, and ba 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 ba, all that stuff. But he has a few words that he can say and that we understand, and you know, I'm sure he also understands what he's saying. So he can say the dada, daddy, which I think it's something that every baby will say instead of calling mommy first. So yeah, he says the daddy, and then he says mommy, of course, and then he also calls my mom nanny, and he says bye and hi. But I think at the moment he's getting the two confused, the hi and the bye. He's getting those confused. So yeah, sometimes he might wave you and say bye, and sometimes he might say hi. So, you know, whichever you get on that day. What else is he?
Mummy.
Yes?
Can we have one more lollipop?
You want a lollipop?
Another one. Just one more.
Just one more. Somebody wants a lollipop. Just, you know. Come and say hello.
Hello.
Hang on, I'll grab you. Wow, this is my oldest. I'm sure you saw him in the last video. What's your name?
Malachi.
Why are you shouting? You don't have to shout. Malachi who?
Malachi Blyven.
Ah, good boy. What are you doing?
Watching my iPad.
Your iPad. He's watching his iPad, also known as iPad. Yeah?
iPad.
iPad. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
And you want another lolly?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you can only have one more lolly and that's it. Yeah? Okay. Right, you have this one. Yeah? And then go sit down. Let mommy finish filming and then we can maybe go to the park. Sounds fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Right, say bye-bye. I'll see you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Right, we'll see you later. Anyway, back to the progress with Asher. He can also say wow, which he loves. And then he loves to clap. He loves to dance. He loves the good old nursery rhymes. His favorite is, I think, Old MacDonald's. He'll literally sing that and he'll shout, yeah, yeah, in between. I'll see if I can insert a clip. If he wakes up and I'm able to still film, then I'll insert a clip. But, you know, that's something he loves to do. And then, of course, as I said, you know, he loves to clap his hands and stuff like that. He is crawling everywhere. You know, he's going up the stairs. Obviously, somebody has to be behind him. And then he is walking across furniture. So he's not walking yet on his own, but he's walking across furniture. I haven't seen him stand yet, so maybe that's something that's to come as well. I'm not sure when he walked, to be honest. His brother walked at just for short of 12 months. I can't really quite compare them because obviously babies are different. But I'm hoping he'll be walking by the time it's his first birthday in April. That'll be quite nice. But otherwise, I'm not bothered. If he doesn't walk by then, whatever. If he does, then he does. But it'll be nice if he walks. No pressure. And then what else is he doing? As I said, he's eating really, really well. Literally near enough everything. All his immunizations and stuff like that are up to date. I think we're waiting for some of them that would be the ones around 1 year old, if I'm not wrong. I haven't really got as much of going to see the midwives or the aftercare midwives with the second one compared to how I was with the first one. So, but otherwise he's doing fine, to be honest. And also he's so chilled out, and he's such a laid back baby. Absolutely content. So half of the time he's just, he's not bothered. As long as he's been fed, he's ate, he's had his bath, then he's happy to play, or if he needs to sleep, then, he's happy to sleep. I've been really lucky with both of them, really. They've been really, really chilled out babies, so thumbs up. Now, an update on me. Obviously, it's been now 10 months going to 11 months postpartum after birth. How am I doing and how am I getting on? I think second time round, I sort of knew what to expect, so it's not so much of a surprise in terms of obviously body change and the physical side of things, which I think every woman will find really, really difficult. For example, obviously now I've stopped breastfeeding, and you know how it goes. Before I had the kids, they were perky, and now it's like, oh. So maybe it's time to call in the surgeon. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not having a boob job or anything like that. But I'm not that kind of girl, I'm not being disrespectful to those who have had the boob job. I think do whatever makes you happy. Life is too short. But for me, it's just, it's not for me. So getting back to body confidence. So we have a little bit of a belly. I mean, I'm a small girl. I'm a size 6. Some people might say, oh, you look fine. You haven't got a belly and da-da-da-da-da. Listen, right? I know my body, okay? And I'm not one of those girls that are too fussed about looks or in terms of, I've got a belly and listen, I don't care as long as I'm breathing. But the thing is, right, after you give birth, right, 9 months of your belly being stretched out this far, you then give birth to this baby and your skin obviously stretches back, but you have a little bit of flap and flab in. So sometimes you just want it to go back to the way you were, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I think as a woman, that's the difficult side of things, where you become quite cautious to say, oh, I look a certain way. Like for me, as I said, I'm a size 6, but there are certain types of jeans that when I wear, I'm like, I better wear that with a longer top, or a top that covers me a little bit, that's a little bit baggy, than maybe a top that's slightly tight, because it's showing that something is there. So I do a little bit of exercising, not too much, not severe, because I'm not one of those exercising girls. I should, because it's healthy and everything, but I'm just not into exercising. But I do a little bit of exercise. So maybe in one of my future videos, I'll show you which exercises I'm doing. I don't go to the gym, I just do it at home. Obviously, having 2 kids, it's one of those things that I have to sacrifice. On the other hand, my husband goes to the gym, so what a luxury. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so that's where we are. And then obviously another thing, I think, how I'm feeling, because sometimes it's easy to feel a certain way, easy for depression as well to come in, because it's life changing, you know. But I've been lucky enough to be okay throughout both births. I've felt fine, and also I've got a strong system with my friends and family who are very, very supportive, and I've got really, really good friends who I'm very grateful for, that if anything I can talk to about any issues I'm having, which I think is very, very important, and I can't really stretch this enough. For those who are struggling or are feeling some type of way, you know, I'll recommend, you know, you seek professional help, which is the nurses that, you know, you see during your updates with your baby. And also, if you've got friends, then speak to your friends or family. You know, I understand some people don't have friends around them. Maybe they're new to the area or they don't have family. It's important maybe to join one of these baby groups, which I have. And I've met friends through those. And yeah, that's another way of, you know, meeting friends. But, you know, just get things off your chest. If you can speak to your husband, then speak to your husband. But sometimes I know sometimes it's not maybe the easier thing, because you feel like, oh, you know, they don't understand. But I think you should be able to talk to someone about these issues. Yeah, so it is, as I was saying, it is really, really, really important that, you know, you open up and you speak to someone, because honestly, depression is real, and it's something that, you know, I wouldn't wish anybody to go through on their own. So, you know, if you feel a certain way, best you speak to someone. And, you know, there's a lot of help you can get out there to just get you through the day. Yeah, what else can I update you on? Yeah, I think another thing that I have realized as well, just to talk to friends and family, sometimes the things that you're going through, other people are also going through it. So for example, I don't know, if you feel you've gained weight, or, you know, how can you lose the weight? Yeah, so another thing, as I was saying, you know, I think it's also confidence. But before I get to the confidence side of things, I was just saying that sometimes, you know, in sharing, it's good. In my experience, half of the time when I have shared how I feel about what I'm going through, I've realized other people are going through it. You know, other of my friends are also going through the same thing. So if you have good friends that you can sit down and have a heart to heart, then I think it's something that is very, very important to lay out and talk about it. And then in the end, you know, you feel much better, they'll feel much better, and you have that support system between the two of you, or, you know, however many are of you. Yeah, so going back to confidence, I think once you've had a baby, as I was saying, obviously your body has changed, you feel some type of way, you have, you know, gained a bit of weight, or, you know, certain body parts have stretched. You know, it's normal for things to be like that. I think that's something that we have to also realize and understand as women. But nowadays, I know it's really, really, really frustrating and annoying, because everywhere you go, it's this perfect body is just being paraded everywhere, you know, magazines, TV, social media and stuff like that. But I think it's important to know that there are body changes that are not going to be the greatest as what you see on Instagram. And also it's good to understand that excuse me, things that we see on Instagram are not the reality of things. People post on their best of days, rather than the worst of their days. So, I see some mothers on Instagram and other social platforms, holding their baby and looking perfect and everything. Great, you look good. But to somebody else who is not looking that way or feel a certain type of way. But I think it's just knowing that, it's not reality. And in reality, half of the time, most of us are sitting at home in our track bottoms, no makeup on, just literally covered in baby food and whatnot. Maybe even not showered on that day, because motherhood doesn't always look maybe like this, all dolled up and all, put together. You have days that, it's just not happening, and that's normal, and that's motherhood. So there's those pressures. But as I said, it also just takes time. When you're ready to exercise, if you want to exercise, or to go on a diet, and when it's safe for both you and your child, then do that. But otherwise, in your own time, don't feel pressure to say, oh, I have to lose my weight because I need to look this certain way. No, you're fine the way you are. It's just when things get to a point, when your body gets to a point where you need to lose the weight or you need to go on a diet, then do that. But don't look at social media and feel intimidated that you have to look at a certain type of way. No. Anyway, so that's really about confidence. And also confidence, I think sometimes, for me anyway, it comes from within. So just to be content with yourself and be happy with yourself. There won't be another you but you in the world. So you just have to know whatever is the best of you is what you need to enhance on. I don't know. It could be your personality, it could be, I don't know, your hobbies or whatever. Whatever it is about you, just enhance on that. And, confidence comes, I think, with experience and I think time as well. Because sometimes I feel I'm 29 years old. If I look back maybe to 10, 15 years ago, the girl that I was, I'm not that girl anymore. That girl back then would worry about, I don't know, stepping out without makeup. Listen, all right? Me now, makeup, what is that? Today I'm wearing makeup. But half of the time I'll just go, I don't care, So, but if I met a new person out there, I'll go in and say hello. It doesn't bother me. So it's also just knowing that, confidence will come at a certain point in life, but don't push yourself to be a certain way or try to be somebody or fit in with what's popular out there for you to be confident. No, it doesn't work that way. So just be yourself. Then another thing I feel, going back to work for me, especially with my first child, to leave your baby was a massive thing and a big thing. And I thank God my mom is around. My mom lives near now. She lives with us. Long story, I'm sure I'll explain that in the future. But which is absolutely helpful. And also, we've got my husband's sisters around. So that does help a lot. But it's just you get the anxiety of thinking, is my child going to be all right? Because obviously most people who take the 9 months, you start work when your baby is 9 months and, they're still babies, they're still cute and fragile, and you're just like, oh, I don't want to leave my baby. And then when you're at work also, you're just worried about your baby. But I think most of the time, most of us leave our babies with people we can trust and people that we know are able to look after these babies. I can't stress enough to tell you that your child is all right with the people you've left the child with, most of the time, especially when it's family. Like for me, it was my mom, so I can only talk on my experience. My mom has 5 children, So she's raised all of us. So I knew leaving my mom with my son, he was going to be fine. But of course, I would do the usual. Oh, can you send me a picture? Oh, can you send me a video or stuff like that? And sometimes my husband would have my son, but still I'd do the same. I think sometimes he felt like I can look after my child, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes men won't understand how these things work. It's just something that I think every mother goes through. Just the anxiety of saying, oh, I've left my child. And but eventually with time, you do get relaxed and you do feel better. I think my advice would be, obviously, do the baby steps, before you go back to work. Leave your child with the people that you're going to be living with your child with before you go to work. So I don't know, go on a girls' night out, or go for coffee, or go for lunch with your friends, or go for dinner with your friends. I don't know, go for a shopping trip with your friends. Just go away a few times before you go back to work, beforehand. Then your child is also used to your absence, and you are used to your child's absence before the initial time of going back to work. There's other things, for example, try and basically just not put yourself in a situation where your child will be very clingy to you. I'm not saying sometimes it's our fault. That can just happen because kids have got no manual. There's no manual, there's no instructions on how these little things, little babies, little boys, little girls, these cute little things work. But I think, if you can try and install some independence in your child before you go back to work, that works. As I said, for me, I knew I was going to go back to work at some point within the 9 or 12 months, but I went back to work at 12 months, so I took a year for my second one. Whereas on my first one, I took 9 months. But I would go out for a meal with friends. I would go out with my husband. I'd go out for, this and that, and, so that helped. And also moving my son out of our room at a good age. For my first one, we moved him out at 4 months. And then for the second one, we moved him out at 6. We moved him out at 6 months. So also it was just him having the independence to say, Mummy's not next to me. Of course he was in the Chico next to me bed, but just that step to say, listen, you go to the next room, and that gave him a lot of independence. I think it helped for him to not worry when I'm not there, or for me mainly not to worry when I've left him somewhere. What else can I suggest? If you've got other things that have helped you, then please drop them in the comment box. But otherwise, the main things, I think, as I talked about, is confidence and body confidence. I think something else, I spoke about the depression as well, for those that, have been affected by what is it called? Now it's gone in my head. Basically, after birth, depression, do you know what? I'll type it up somewhere there. Anyway, another thing is, I feel like most women, after they give birth, they want to go for a treat. For me, might be a good shopping spree, or because your wardrobe has changed. Your clothes, either they're big, it's rare that you've lost weight, so, and you just want to get your mojo back. So some people might go for a spa, some people might go for just a shopping spree. For me, I think I usually go back to my wardrobe, literally sample out what I don't need anymore. Like with my last born, I gained a bit of weight. I'm a size 6, as I said, so I was borderline, like getting towards 6.5. I can't quite yet say 8 because I can't wear size 8, slightly a bit big for me. So I was like a size 4, went into a size size 4 into a size 6, and then like 6.5. Yes, there isn't such a thing. But then what I'll do is obviously shop in the shops that their jeans are slightly bigger from the usual jeans shops that I buy, for example, jeans. So for me, I buy my jeans from like H&M. So I'll go to somewhere like New Look. Anyway, yeah, so a good shopping spree does help. I think it just brings that mojo back to say, you know what? Yeah, I've spent 9 months wearing pajamas, leggings, and everything comfortable and not so attractive. But now I am back. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking just on behalf of myself, because some moms just look absolutely glam. So I think that does help as well. And I don't know, just take time out with the girls, go out for a meal and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I have spoken enough. If there's anything else, as I said, that I have left out, then please leave it in my comments below, and we can discuss it from there. But yeah, that's everything for me, I think, that I can share. Yeah, I can't believe I'm a mother of 2, a soon-to-be 4-year-old and a soon-to-be 1-year-old. It's been great, you know, it's come with its ups and downs, but so far it's been great. I'll do it all over again, the same way. Yeah, so without any further ado, I think I'm gonna leave the video there, and I'll see you definitely in my next video. Bye bye for now. Bye.